Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be an update video on products that I've used up in 2020. I felt like I wanted to do this a little bit earlier in the year, like start doing 3-month updates rather than doing halfway through the year updates. I feel like since we all have so much time on our hands now that I thought it would be fun for me to update you guys more frequently throughout the year. So I do want to start with products that I used up fully. I actually did a pretty good job of using up products that I really wanted to use up. I used up about 5 or 6 products that I really wanted to use up. So I'm feeling pretty proud of myself about that. So I'm going to share with you guys the products in this bag. There's a lot of declutter products in here too, but I'm mostly just going to go through the products that I've used up completely, and then we'll go through the rest of the other products in a separate declutter video. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start off with powders because I actually did make some pretty good progress with powders this time. So I have a pressed powder and a loose powder to talk about. So first off, I just want to say that I did use up the Thrive Causemetics Soft Focus HD Setting Powder completely. I actually did put a different powder in here, but I did use up the entire Thrive Causemetics powder. So this is the first loose powder that I've ever used up fully, which is crazy to me because I don't even own that many loose powders, so I should be able to get through loose powders more quickly because I barely use any other powders besides this one. This one took me about a year to use up, and I absolutely loved it. You guys know that this was my holy grail powder. I absolutely love this powder. So I'm so happy I was able to use up the whole thing. I ended up having to cut out the top of it. Someone suggested this to me to cut out the top because it did come with a sifter and it was getting harder and harder to get the powder out. As I was using up more and more of it, it was harder to get the powder out of the sifter. So one subscriber told me to cut out the top of it, and I thought that was brilliant, and then I ended up using up the whole thing. So pretty proud of myself about that. So I hit that goal. And then what I ended up putting up in here so I can get rid of this is I'm also very close at using up my Charlotte Tilbury Soft Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. Now, this is empty because I did put the rest of the crushed up powder in here because another subscriber told me to crush up the remaining bits of powder that I had in here. Since I did use up mostly all of it, it just had lingering bits of it that was in here that I'm still trying to use up. So she said to crush it up and use it like a loose powder. And I thought that was brilliant. And since I have an empty container from the Thrive Causemetics powder, I just put it in here. So I am going to be using this as a loose setting powder, and then I should use it up very soon. So now I have an empty pan of the Charlotte Tilbury powder. So I'm going to basically count this as using up 2 products because I barely have anything left of this, and I'm definitely going to use this up because this is my daily powder that I use every day. So I'm really happy with the progress that I made on powders, and I'm so glad that this is empty. You guys know I love the Charlotte Tilbury powder. It's one of my holy grail products. And I actually did just purchase a dupe for this powder, so I'm probably not going to be repurchasing this powder anytime soon because I want to try out the dupe for it. But I'm so happy that this pan is empty so I can get rid of this and continue to use it up from the Thrive powder. So that's it for powders. So those are 2 products. And then I also used up 2 concealers, and they're both from Urban Decay. I finally got these 2 concealers out of my collection. I've had these concealers for a while, so I really wanted to just concentrate on using these up. So you guys know that this used to be one of my all-time favorite concealers. It's still one of my favorites. I absolutely love this concealer. And I'm talking about the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. And this one's in the shade Fair Neutral. Just Urban Decay knows what they're doing when it comes to concealers. They really do an amazing job at concealers. And I always end up falling in love with every single Urban Decay concealer that I try. They end up being like my favorite high-end concealer brand. They really do make amazing concealers. And I used to go through this concealer constantly. So I finally used up the last one that I had in my collection because I used to repurchase this all the time. But there's pretty much no concealer left in here, and even if I wipe this off, it's pretty dried out, so I'm going to call it quits, and plus, it doesn't really apply when I try to put it on anyway, so it's basically empty. But I love this concealer, so this is the first one that I used up. And then I also finally used up the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer. This was one of my favorite full coverage concealers ever. It's such a good concealer. But it's basically empty. I didn't use this too much to get it used up because I think it was almost done anyway. I just finished up basically the tail end of it, and this is also one of my favorite concealers ever. So I'm so happy that I moved this concealer out of my collection as well. And then I have two more products. So I used up about 6 products completely, which I'm really happy about that I gold myself up. Myself to use these products completely up. So I do also have a foundation. I finally was able to use up another foundation. I know I used to be able to use a foundation so quickly, but it's just been hard for me to use up a foundation the past year or so because I did add quite a few foundations to my collection last year, and I did add a couple of foundations to my collection in December to March. So I purchased the Bite Beauty one, I purchased the Fenty one, and I purchased the Beauty Bakery one, so, and the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer. So I really got to concentrate on using up more foundations before I purchase any more. So I'm going to be on a no-buy for foundations for about at least 5 months or so because I just wanted the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer since I thought that would be a great product for me to get now since I'm not working, and it's a really good product to use for like light makeup days for this situation. So I did use up my Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Hydrating Foundation Stick in the shade Opal 01. I actually did use this up completely. I tried to see if I could scrape out the rest of the products, but I wanted to see how how far down the stopper went, and honestly, like, it's actually, like, didn't really have that much product left in here. So I basically only had, like, 1 use or so out of this, but I kind of, like, wiped it on my face a little bit to make it flat, and then basically I was just going to call it quits anyway, and I was kind of getting tired of using it, and since I was so close to using it up, and it started to smell a little bit weird, that I just decided to scrape off the top, because basically I had like a little chunk left that I just wiped on my face, and then I just went into it and kind of just worked it out with like a nail clipper thing, and I could tell that it after it stopped here, I was gonna call it quits anyway because it would be a pain in the ass to get the product out of the tube anyway. So technically I did use it up all the way. I use this pretty much on a daily basis for like a month straight besides the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer. So I'm happy to say that I did use this up, and I'm going to count it as a product I've used up because I think I've had it for a year or so already, and it was starting to get that funky smell that other stick concealers get that aren't the Makeup Forever one, because the Makeup Forever one actually has like a plastic covering on the inside, so it doesn't get like that funky smell, and that's why that one's been preserved for so long for me, because that's still like my first stick concealer, and it still lasted a really long time. So I love this. I probably will repurchase this in a couple of months or so in the summertime, because this is one of my favorite summertime concealers to wear as well, because it's so lightweight and comfortable on the skin. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on the foundations I have in my collection right now. So, love this guy. I'm so glad that I used that up as well. And then the last product that I used up completely is actually a lip product, and I'm so happy because this is the first ever lip product that I've used up completely. I am so bad at using up lipsticks. I'm so good about using up foundations and concealers, but even powders I struggle with, and I'm so happy that I made that much progress on powders this year. But I used up my ColourPop Lippie Stick in the shade Aquarius, and this is the one from Kathleen Lights, and as you guys can tell, none of the product rolls up anymore, and I can't get any more out of the tube, and I can't even really swatch it, so that means that it's done. And this is really, really old anyway, and I don't think there's much product left in here anyway. There might be, but I don't know how to get this out of the tube, and plus this is really old anyway, so I'm going to consider this being used up as well. I know that there's product left in here, but again, I don't think there's that much product, and I don't think it's even worth trying to get out of the tube because I feel like it's just going to break down anyway. So I've loved this Lippie Stick for a really long time. I feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of it. It's a $5 lipstick, so I think it's time to say goodbye to this, and I'm really happy with the progress that I made on this guy. And then a couple of other products that I knew that I was going to use up completely. I have the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. I did use up one of these completely. So this is the first one that I've used up completely. I mean, it's not that big of a primer, but I go through primers pretty quickly as well. I actually have a second one that I finally opened up because I was like, I need to finally open up the one that I have because it's been sitting like next to my desk for forever. Then I'm like, I need to start using this. So I decided to use up the rest of this product. So I just used this consistently for like a week and basically ended up using it up. So I love this. It's such a beautiful, soft primer on the skin. So this is a great primer. And then also I used up finally, and I probably should have gotten rid of this a while ago, but I wanted to use it up completely. I finally used up the NYX Glitter Primer, and this was my first one. You guys, this stuff lasts forever, but I'm so happy I finally used up mine. But you guys know I use a glitter primer every single day to apply my shimmer shades because I find that a glitter primer helps your shimmer shades go on so nicely and so pigmented. So I can't really do my makeup without a glitter primer. So I love this, and I find that when I don't wear it, it makes like the shimmer shade so crumbly on my lid that I always need to wear this. So I'm so happy that I use this up as well. And then I don't think that this was in my last products I've used up video. If it was, I'm sorry, but for some reason I still have it in this bag. So I'm thinking that I had it in this bag for a reason. And I'm talking about the Maybelline Master Prime by Face Studio Blur and Smooth Primer as well. I haven't repurchased this since I've used it up. I've used up 2 of these already completely. This is one of my favorite primers as well. But I was just going to talk about it real quick. I feel like I've talked about this in other products I've used up video. But you guys know how much I love this primer. I did actually just order a new primer from Catrice, and I haven't tried a new primer in a while. So I'm really excited to try that. So I'm going to stray away from Maybelline primers for a while and kind of start using the other primers in my collection. And then you guys know I use the e.l.f. primer on a daily basis. So yeah, so I use that up too. Again, sorry if I've already talked about this, but I'm wondering why it was in here. And then the last full makeup product that I've used up, and then we'll get into products that I've used, that I've hit pan on and stuff, is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set Volumizing Brow Mascara. I do use this every single day to set my brows, and I did use a full one up completely. I do have another one of these in my collection already. This is the only brow gel slash brow mascara that I actually use, and I love it. It's such a good everyday brow mascara. So I love this, and if you guys are looking for like a cheaper alternative to like the Anastasia brow gel, this stuff is great. So I love this as well. And also another one, I used up quite a bit of products this time. I used up about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 products. So I'm pretty proud of myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 9 products plus this. So I think about 10 products. So that's pretty good. I'm really, really happy. I also used up the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. I've had this way too long in my collection anyway. And I do use this on a daily basis on my bottom lashes. I haven't used it in quite a while though because I found the L'Oreal Lash Discovery Mascara. But I was using this into, I think, about probably January. And I finally decided just to get rid of it. It doesn't smell very good. But you guys know that this is like one of my favorite mascaras for the lower lash line. But now since I have the Lash Discovery Mascara, I don't think I'm going to be repurchasing this anymore. It just doesn't make sense to me if I found such a good drugstore dupe. But I did use this up as well. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Yay me. Woo! Okay. So now I'm going to go through the rest of the products I've used up that aren't like makeup. But you know, some skincare and stuff. So of course I went through another one. The oil gets everywhere though. It's like so annoying. But I did use up another one of my Burt's Bees cleansing oils. You guys know that this is my facial oil that I use to take off my makeup basically every single day. So I go through these like water. I think I'm on my 4th one now. I haven't been able to find any other cleansing oils at the drugstore, and I find that this cleansing oil works amazingly for my skin. It doesn't irritate my skin or anything. I know that it's scented, but it's a great facial oil, so I'm going to keep on using it. So this is pretty much the only product I've been repurchasing from Burt's Bees. I did stop repurchasing the cleanser because I found a better cleanser for myself, but I do love this facial oil. And then speaking of the cleanser, I also did use up my last Burt's Bees facial cleanser. This one is sensitive with cotton extract. You guys know that this used to be my facial cleanser of choice. But now since I've moved on to a different cleanser from the drugstore, I stopped repurchasing this. I felt like I went through it way too quickly. I've went through like 3 or 4 of these. Like, it was still a great cleanser, but I feel like there's not enough product in here to last me more than like a month or so. I felt like I kept on repurchasing it too much. So I was like, I think I'm going to try something else. And my sister recommended that La Roche-Posay one to me that I really, really love. It did take me a little bit of time to adjust to it, but I do really like that as well. So this one I'm not going to be repurchasing anymore, but I did use up another one. Obviously, I was still going to use it up. Then I also used up a mini of the Sephora Mini Solid Brush Cleaner. You guys know I love this stuff. I use this every day to clean my beauty sponge, so I go through these all the time, and you guys know that this is my favorite soap for a sponge cleaner. And then I also used up my travel size of my Lancome Paris La Vie Est Belle perfume. You guys know how much I loved the full-size one, and I did use up the full-size one, but I also got a travel size with the gift set that my mom got for me, I think a year ago. So it took me about a year to use up both. I used up the bottle way before I used up this one. But I used to bring this to my boyfriend's house all the time if I wanted something to make me smell good. And I used up the whole bottle. So this is my first travel size perfume I've actually used up completely, because I always end up breaking them. Ugh, it pisses me off so much. I do have a couple, but this one was like one of my favorites ever, and I'm so happy that I used up the whole thing. And I was really happy to have this after I had used up the Lancome one, because that one like doesn't come with that much product. So I'm glad that I used that up as well, but I am missing the scent. It's such a good scent. I also used up another one of my Ole Henriksen Truth serums, and this is my vitamin C serum that I use on a daily basis. This is the travel size. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd one that I've used up. I have another one in my bathroom. This is my vitamin C serum that I use every single day, so I am going to use it up quite frequently. So I did use up another one of these. Let's see. Okay, and then we do have quite a few makeup wipes to go through, because you guys know who doesn't have makeup wipes in their products I've used up videos. So I only see 3 for now. So I used up another one of the Simple age-resisting cleansing wipes. I love these, and I did use up 2 of the regular ones, so I don't really have to talk about these. You guys know those are my wipes of choice. And then I also did use up another one of the Milani Make It Last setting sprays. I didn't have too much of this left to use up anyway, and I did recently repurchase another one back in like January or February, so I don't think I shared this with you guys because I was still using up a little bit of this one, and then when I had used it up, then I went and purchased another one. So I love this as well, but I'm not really using it as often because I don't really need something to make my makeup last that long since, again, you know, I'm just wearing makeup to my boyfriend's house and then back home. I am staying home today just to, you know, because I've seen him for the past like 5 days already. But you guys know how much I love this setting spray. I think this is the second one that I've used up, so I have used that one up before. And then another foundation, because the rest of these products I think I'm going to save just for a declutter video. I am decluttering both of these because I did try to, actually I'm going to save that one for this, but this one I did try to goal myself to use up, but it ended up being way too old, and I basically used up the majority of it, and I'm talking about the L'Oreal Paris True Match Super Blendable Makeup Broad Spectrum SPF 17 in the shade Warm Porcelain W1. You guys know I was trying to use this up for quite a while, but I decided to declutter it because it's basically at the tail end anyway. There's probably only like 1 or 2 uses left out of this, but I don't feel comfortable using it anymore because this is an old product, so I am going to declutter this. But since it was one of the foundations I tried to goal myself to use up earlier this year, I'm not sure if I talked about this in December, about decluttering it, but I'm going to get rid of it, and it's still in this bag, so I might as well talk about it. And then I have quite a few foundations I'm going to be decluttering, but again, I think I'm going to save all of these products for a declutter video. I also have a Maybelline Fit Me concealer in here in the shade Fair. I'm not sure if I just didn't include this in another video because there's pretty much, wait, hold on, there's still product in here. I think because it's settled to the bottom. Alright, you know what? I'm going to put this back in my collection because there's still product in here. Why was this in here? There's still product in here. I could still use this because there's still product on the bottom. Alright, that's going to go back in my collection. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm also going to talk about just the mascaras I'm going to get rid of because they're all dried out now, so I might as well cover these because I did replace quite a few of them. So I'm going to get rid of my NARS Climax mascara, my Kevyn Aucoin The Expert mascara, the Wet n Wild Mega Length mascara. I use this all the time, so I think this one I used up until it was dried out, but it's pretty dried out now. The Thrive Liquid Lash Extension mascara, I love this, and I just recently found out about a dupe for it, so I'm probably not going to repurchase this one again. This is one of my all-time favorites, but I think I'm just going to purchase the dupe. And then the ColourPop Volumizing Mascara. This one's pretty dried out too. The BFF Volumizing Mascara in the shade Black. And then the last one is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. So I have recently repurchased all 3 of these. And these 3, I wasn't ever really too crazy about the Kevyn Aucoin one. The NARS one is good, and the Thrive one I love, but I think I'm going to purchase the dupe of these. The other 2 I could live without. The NARS one's good, but it's not as good as the Thrive one. So I think that is it in the actual bag of products I've used up. Oh, I have a Ordinary oil in here. Hold on. I have one. So I do have one of the, oh, wait, hold on. This is a different product. I did use up the full bottle of the Ordinary Grand Active Retinoid 2% Emulsion Retinol. I'm pretty sure I didn't get a new one of these, like, from the Inkey list until, like, December or January, I believe. So I think it was December. So I don't think I included this in my last one. But again, it's still in here. So I did use up an entire bottle of that. That was my first retinol to my collection, and I did use one up completely. I have a Lancome one. I think all of these are old, so yeah, I'm going to save the rest of these for a declutter video. And then I'm also getting rid of another one of my L'Oreal sponges. I think I did recently repurchase that one. So I did go through another one, of course. It's my favorite sponge ever. Alright, so I think we're pretty good with this. I'll go through it at the end and see if there's any products that I missed. But I'm really happy with my progress. I'm really happy with how many products I was able to use up. So all of this stuff can go in the trash except for the Thrive powder. So that is awesome. So now I'm going to give you my progress on products that I was trying to use up in 2020 that I'm still working on. So let's start with concealers first. I think this one's almost done anyway. But I'm still going to try and use it up. I think there's only like maybe 1 or 2 uses out of this. So this is the Maybelline New York Master Chrome by Face Studio Camouflaging Concealer in the shade Fair. This one I'm kind of not too crazy about anymore. It's still really good, but I feel like, you know, I'm kind of getting tired of it. I might just declutter it because it's an older concealer and I have so many other concealers that I could work through anyway. But it's really easy for me to use up concealer, so I'm probably just going to work on this for this next week, and then it'll probably be used up anyway. So, and then the other 2 that I've been using like crazy that I'm probably not going to have any trouble using up this year is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Correcting Multi-Usage Concealer, and this one's in the shade Ivory. I'm actually wearing this today because I just threw on concealer today since obviously I'm not going anywhere. So obviously why would I put on foundation? So I pretty much went through half of this already, so I think that this is going to be no problem for me to use up. And then the last one is my, wait, hold on. I forgot another one. I left it over there. I left a few products over there. Dang it. I left it on my makeup collection top. So I have this one, which is my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea concealer, and this one lasts a pretty long time. It does take me a while to go through, and there's a stopper in there, so I can't really tell my progress on it. But I'm probably definitely going to use this up by the end of the year. And also, I'm probably definitely going to use up the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. And then the last one that I'm going to use up is my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 02. I actually have a backup of this sitting right here that I haven't cracked open yet. But I do have another one. So thank God that I do have this because this is one of my all-time favorite concealers, and since ColourPop can't ship out right now, I am really happy that I have a backup that I haven't used yet. So this one shouldn't be any trouble using up either. I'm probably going to start using this more within the next few weeks or so. I've just been using a lot more like lighter coverage concealer. So that is it for concealers. Now let's move on to powders. So since I used up the Thrive Cosmetics powder, I've still been trying to work on my ColourPop No Filter powder. This one has been the one I pretty much have been using almost every day, so that's the progress I made in that one. So honestly, I'm probably going to use this up within the next month, but I am going to be alternating between the Charlotte Tilbury powder in here and the No Filter powder. So these are the 2 I'm still going to be concentrating on. But I'm still going to probably use up both of these very shortly because I made quite a bit of progress in this. It used to be like halfway full and now it's like a quarter full, so I shouldn't have any trouble using that up. And then after I use up the No Filter powder, I'm going to go myself to use up another loose setting powder. So I'm going to add in the Hourglass translucent setting powder, and this is the Veil setting powder. I mean, I don't have too much product in here anyway, as you guys can see. And this is a very small amount of product, but that's all I have left, like, which isn't that bad. So I have about a quarter left of this powder too. So I'm going to go myself to use up this powder as well. So this is probably the only new product that I'm adding in this video to go myself up, but I feel pretty confident about working through loose setting powders now, so I don't think I'll have any trouble using that up either. And then the last two powders are pressed powders, but you guys know I've been working on these for a while anyway. So I just wanted to show you guys my progress on the Wet n Wild Photo Focus pressed powder. You guys know I've been working on this for a while, and this one's in the shade Warm Light, and this is what it looks like right now. I have expanded the pan quite a bit since I hit pan around this area. So I use this pretty much on a daily basis as well as my pressed powder, and now I'm just going to be using this mostly as my pressed powder anyway because I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury one as a loose setting powder that I can make more progress on using this guy. So this is pretty much my daily setting powder anyway. And then I'm also going to be alternating with that powder with the Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth powder. And I actually just whipped this out and used it yesterday in the shade 110 Porcelain since I have such a good dent in it anyway. Which that happened because I did hit pan on it originally and it was kind of crumbling around the pan area. So that's why I have a bigger pan in it, but I did hit pan on this powder originally already. It just looks a little bit bigger because it ended up crumbling a little bit, and I did use the product anyway. So I am going to work on using up this powder as well. So again, I don't think either of these powders are going to be a problem for me to use up. So I'm happy I can start working on those more because I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury powder as a loose powder. And now we just have eyeshadows and bronzers. So, like I said, I did go myself to try and hit pan on, where the heck is the palette? Did I put it back? Oh, it's right here. I did try to use up, well, not use up. I tried to go myself to hit pan on the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop Dream Street eyeshadow in the shades Shooting Star right here. And I did actually use this palette today so I could update you guys on my progress, and I do like wearing a lot of the products that I try to hit pan on or use up in these videos just to make you see that I am using the products, and it kind of reminds me to use the products. So this is the progress that I have in this guy. I have a huge dip in it, so I'm really hoping I can use it up soon. But you guys know that ColourPop eyeshadows have so much product in them that it's very hard for me to hit pan on any of their shades in their palettes because they really do come with a ton of products. So I'm still going to go myself to try and hit pan on this one shade. I'm not going to add any more eyeshadows, honestly, since I have added quite a few palettes to my collection the past couple of months. I'm not really going myself to use up any eyeshadows. The only one I'm going to still be working on, and I'm probably going to use it up completely any day now, is these are my ColourPop single shadows. So the only two eyeshadows I'm going to go myself to use up completely is Firefly and Hear Me Out. And Firefly is pretty much my everyday transition shade, and Hear Me Out is pretty much my everyday brow bone highlight. So I use this so often, so I think, and as you guys can see, I have expanded the pan quite a bit in Hear Me Out, but it's so hard to use up. And then the only other one I'm going to go myself to hit pan on is Take It Slow. I've been using this quite a bit, and this is pretty much my go-to inner corner highlight for really light makeup days. I'm wearing it on my inner corners today. So since I hit pan on Let Me Explain, I'm going to try and hit pan on Take It Slow as well. So those are the only eyeshadows that I gold myself to hit pan on, is a couple of ColourPop eyeshadows. I really don't try to overwhelm myself with eyeshadows anymore because it just ends up not happening for me. And then the other eyeshadow that I actually did hit pan on is a eyeshadow from the Storybook Cosmetics Fairy Tales palette. I find that there's really not too much product in this palette. Yes, the packaging is beautiful and I love it, but since there's really not too much product built into the actual book, I think that the only products that you get is literally just the top layer. Like, this is how much product you get, is basically this where it's put into the palette, which is kind of annoying because, you know, I'm going to hit pan on these shades so quickly then. So I did hit pan on the shade Woodlands, and I haven't even had this palette for that long. I've only had it for maybe 2 months now. I think I've had it since the end of February, so I haven't even had it too long, honestly. And I'm kind of disappointed that I already hit pan on it, but at the same time, like, it does make me happy to hit pan on an eyeshadow so quickly, but at the same time, like, I know there's not too much product in here, and that's the only reason why I hit pan on it so quickly. So that is the only eyeshadow that I hit pan on, and I'm probably going to hit pan on quite a few of the other ones. Like, I probably am going to hit pan on Spindle, and maybe Enchanted, but it's kind of annoying that the eyeshadows are so flat that that's all the product that you get. So I feel like you're just paying for the packaging when most companies, I mean, I love this. I love the concept. The eyeshadows are great. The metallics are beautiful. Like, it's a great palette. But the fact that you get that little product because you're basically paying for the packaging is kind of disappointing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay. And now we're just going to move on to a couple of bronzers. So the first one that I'm trying to make, I'm going to use this. This one I'm also trying to use up completely. This one has been a goal of mine for a while, so this is nothing new. And this is the Marc Jacobs Instamark Dreamer Filter. I just wanted to show you guys the progress that I made on the bronzer side and the powder side. So this is what the contour side looks like, and the powder side I've made quite a bit of progress in because I use this powder to set my primer like every single day, so that's why I've expanded the pan quite a bit. Because I remember the last time I had this video probably was just this pan right here, so I have expanded it quite a bit. And then this side, I've just been using this for my bronzer almost every day this week, and I've already made that much progress on it. I do use it here and there, but I was concentrating more on the other bronzers that I'm about to talk about. But this one, so this powder and these two loose powders, I should be able to use up completely. So I'm going to make that commitment now, and I probably should at least use up at least one of these loose powders by the time I make another update in probably July, and I should be able to use this one up completely, no problem. So, and then the Charlotte Tilbury powder. The pressed powders, I'm not going to be too confident, but I'm probably going to make a ton of progress on these as well. So I am really happy with the progress I make on powders because I really don't have too many powders in my collection anyway. Okay, now let's talk about a couple more bronzers. So the one that I've expanded the pan the most on is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. You guys know that this is like my go-to everyday bronzer. I used to have a little baby pan in this, and now I've expanded it quite a bit. So I kind of want to try and possibly use up this bronzer at some point. It does come with a ton of product, but once I use up the Marc Jacobs Instamark Dreamer Filter, I'm going to try and use this one up completely, hopefully by the end of the year. I'm definitely not going to use it up by the time I make another update, but I'm going to try and hopefully get a ton of pan out of it by the time I update you guys again. So these two bronzers I'm going to be concentrating on the most. And then the other bronzer that I was really trying to hit pan on that I just kind of gave up on because, I don't know, I was kind of getting sick of using it every day. I still love it, but again, ColourPop products come with so much product. You really do get a bang for your buck. And I'm talking about the ColourPop Pressed Powder Face bronzer in the shade Private Party. This is the progress that I made on it. Obviously, you guys can see I didn't get to hit pan on it. Because when I actually do swatch it, it feels like there's so much damn product in here that I don't think I'm going to use it up anytime soon or hit pan on it. Maybe I will by the end of the year, but it is very hard pressed that you do get a ton of product in it. So hopefully I'll be able to hit pan on it at some point. I was using it pretty consistently in January and February, but like I wanted to use different bronzers, so I kind of just stopped using it for a while. And then the last one is the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Dolce. Again, baked products are very hard to hit pan on, but since I hit pan on Wet n Wild's powder, I want to try and hit pan on this. I'm still working on it. This is one of my favorite everyday bronzers as well, so it is pretty flat since I showed my last update, so it's getting there. It used to be really elevated, like all the way up here, like where the packaging was. So I have used it a ton, and I love it. So hopefully I'll be able to hit pan on it. And then the last two products are going to be highlights. This one was the only one that I really goaled myself to hit pan on. The Wet n Wild Precious Petals one, I didn't have any progress in, so I figured I didn't have to mention it. Hopefully I'll be able to hit corner pan on it at some point. But the other one I tried to goal myself to hit pan on, and I've tried to hit pan on this for months now, but I still haven't done it yet. I feel like this one comes with a ton more product than the other highlights that I've actually hit pan on, and I'm talking about the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight. You guys know that this is one of my favorite highlighters, and unfortunately I still haven't been able to hit pan on this guy. It comes with a ton of products, and I do use this quite a bit, and I actually have been using it way more the past month or so, just to try and hit pan on it, but I don't think I'm going to anytime soon. So I'm going to try to continue to use it, so I probably will hit pan on it eventually. But I did hit pan on one highlight, and I don't know why I didn't mention this in the products I want to use up in 2020. I think I just forgot to mention it in that video, but I knew that this one was pretty much a no-brainer to hit pan on. So now this is my 5th highlight in my collection that I've hit pan on, so that makes me really happy. And this is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek highlighter in the shade On the Cusp. And this is one of the highlighters from the Kathleen Lights Zodiac collection. So this one is kind of a relatively older highlight. I think I've had this for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half or so. But it doesn't smell bad or anything. I'm actually wearing it today just so I could show it to you guys and show that I made progress on this guy. So I did hit pan on this. So I'm kind of really happy about my progress in makeup products the past couple of months. It's probably because I've been using more products more consistently on a daily basis, because when I use like lighter makeup, I pretty much stick to mostly the same products, like for my face anyway. For the eyeshadow, I always switch it up, but for face products, I mostly use the same stuff. So I'm really happy that I hit pan on this. And that is it, you guys. I don't want to like goal myself to use up anything that I don't think is going to be practical enough. Oh, also, I am almost done with using up my MAC Fix Plus. I barely have any products left. I love this guy. It's so nice to use on your face. It's just so hydrating, and it feels so good. I use this every day to prime my face, and I might pick up another one because I love this. I forgot how much I do love it, but I do have the NYX First Base Primer Base to work through, so I'm going to work through this first before I end up picking up another one of these. But I am really happy with this tester that I got from Ulta, so I'm almost done with that. And then I am still, where is it? I am still working on this Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Hydrating Setting Spray. I swear, I've never had a setting spray that has so much product in it. This has lasted me a really long time. I think that this has lasted me about a year whenever I did pick up Flower Beauty products. So this, you definitely get your money's worth out of this. I don't know what the deal is with Flower Beauty right now. You can't really get it on at Ulta or but they do still sell it through their website from Ulta and also Flower Beauty. So I just ordered the setting powder from them. I'm really excited to try it. I hope it's like a dupe to the Charlotte Tilbury one, because that's what Andrea Mattiliano keeps on saying. But this lasts forever, but I am feeling it getting to the tail end, so I think I'm going to use it up very soon. So yeah, that is it, you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. Let me know if you guys have worked through any products this past couple of months. If you guys are even wearing makeup, like I said, let me know. And I love you guys. Bye. Okay, so hey guys. So I actually forgot to mention a couple of products in my products I used up video, which I filmed a few days back, but this is obviously a different day, so I just wanted to mention them real quick so I can get rid of them. I used up my full size of my Kiehl's Amino Acid Shampoo. I forgot to mention this in the video. This was sitting in my closet ready for me to talk about. I absolutely love this amino acid shampoo. And I have like the big bottle now that I just started working on like last week. So this one I can throw out. And I also used up the travel size version as well, which is in my bathroom still. I haven't thrown it out yet, but I also used up the small version because I have a travel size of the shampoo and the conditioner. So I was using the travel size shampoo so I could use that more while I was still using up the full size conditioner. So I just used up the travel size as well. I also used up another one of the Ordinary Organic Virgin Chia Seed Oil. I didn't see this at the bottom of my bag because I just recently cleaned out my declutter bag that I had before. So I'm getting rid of all this makeup in here, and it's like my trash can is full again. But I love this. This is my favorite oil to use at night, and I use that all the time. Then I also had used this up, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this in my video. I used up the Farsali Unicorn Essence, and this is the mini version. I love this. I got this from Chip, and I used it like every day when I had it. And I love this. I forgot I might want to actually pick up a full size of this from the VIB sale. I think I might do that instead of getting the shampoo. Or I might just get both. But I forgot that I kind of want this. This is amazing. I love this unicorn essence. And then I also used up one of the Lancome Youth Activating Eye Creams. I forgot that this was on the bottom of the bag. So I also used up this. I was using up a lot of my eye cream samples because I just wanted to finally get some use out of them and jump on the bandwagon and use an eye cream. And this one I really liked. So sorry about forgetting those products. And I also used up another one or two makeup wipe packages just like this past week, so I figured I would include them. I used up another one of my Simple Cleansing Wipes, and I also just used up these Trader Joe's Micellar Cleanser and Makeup Remover Wipes. I don't like these at all. They're good at getting makeup off, but they're just so highly fragrant that it's too much fragrance. Like, the simple ones, you're supposed to use unscented makeup wipes or unscented anything, basically. And this is just way too fragrant for me. My mom actually got these for me. I did use them up, but I don't ever want to use these again. I wanted to use them up because she got them for me, but I just don't like them. So yeah, that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!